My name is Chuck. I'm an MC from Bakersfield, California, and yeah, I really love this hip hop shit, man, to the death of me. And I appreciate you having me on because you're the first person who gave me my first interview. I don't know if you remember on your old show at Canudo Studios, a
That's
long
right. We
time
did
ago.
do it. We did
A
do an
long time
interview.
ago. That was like when I first started coming out, like showing out and performing, and then yeah, you gave me my first interview. It was on Facebook and all that stuff. I remember.
I was talking to Stephanie about booking you,
Hmm.
and I didn't really understand that people try to move around a little bit to do their event. And I was just like, "Hey man, can you do the next show? And can you do the next show? And
Yeah.
can you do the next show?" It's like um, I don't know, man. I think it's the same like the IG thing and the people that I'm inviting over. She also asked me like, "How are you vetting? Like, how do you vet?" And the other guy who came in to do the art too, he's like, "Why me?" And I'm like, "You put something up, caught my eye, kept listening."
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
I'm not really super fanatic of everybody where I'm gonna be at every show, buy all your shit, and know all your lyrics
Hmm.
and know all your pieces and all. No, it's just like I respect what they're doing and they seem committed to what they're doing, and over time you see their growth and
Yeah.
you're just like you want to catch up and you're like, hey, what's up? And this is also a way for me to not be like a fanboy or be like all like oh man, I think you're so awesome, and it's just like, hey bro, back the fuck off. Like in this environment it's more like it's a conversation.
No,
It's
I
just
feel
like
it.
we go back and forth.
But you've always showed love, man. And I appreciate you still listening to this day. You know, like it means a lot, man, because you've literally seen my growth
Yeah,
from like coming out of my cocoon to like now people kind of like know who I am a little bit in the city. So
that's what's up. Yeah, that does happen. You do follow people and they grow. I remember the things I liked about your music was one, that you were young and that you were trying to like do something. Um, the video was hella cool. It was just clean. Everything was just clean. I was like, oh, this guy's trying to do something,
yeah,
And then if he's not, if it's not just coming from him, but it's coming from a team, then he has some good people around him who are helping him out.
yeah.
So that's cool. And then you do your own thing, have a podcast, like, oh, I'll reach out to these people in town and see what's up. And then booked you for the shows, and then still trying to book you for the lyrics of the intro of the podcast.
Oh, I got yeah.
So you just
We're gonna talk after this. Yeah,
cool,
I
cool.
got you.
I know Stephanie was talking about like, oh, you gotta pay for these verses. Cause I was telling her I was telling her about that. I was like, yeah, I hit him up. She goes, oh, you gotta pay for verse. I was like, of course. I was like, but what's a verse?
It's always love. Yeah,
It's like, what are we talking here?
yeah.
Because she was telling me she charges, and she put it on the podcast, so nothing private. It's like, I think she said 300 a verse.
Hmm.
I was like, damn. I was like, all right. I was like, what's a verse? Is it like a sentence, a rhyme?
So it's just like my part in the song. If it was like if I just get one part, my it would be my verse.
Just whatever you want to put out there?
Yeah, it'd be like
Or is it like
my
rhyme?
section of it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. But it's not like from it's not the rhyme. It's like it's not from the one sentence to the second sentence.
No, it's the whole thing. Yeah, that's what you're thinking of is like a bar. Yeah,
Bar.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So if
okay.
I like said, yeah, so if I say one thing, go to the next. That's a bar. But as far as a verse, that's just like if Stephanie sang the hook, like the chorus, and then I came in, that's my verse.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. I think everybody knows you. If they don't know you as Chuck, they know you as like that one guy Chuck.
yeah.
Um, what are some of the things you're up to right now?
I'm just building, man. I recently dropped a mixtape, and then we dropped some merch. So, I should have got your size. I should have asked you. I'm sorry, bro. Next time, I got you though.
Remind me to take a picture. I always forget to take a picture.
I got you. But yeah, me and Charcoal Avalon, we dropped a mixtape called Back in the House. It's doing pretty good, man. People like just keep talking about it on the low to me, and when they see me, they congratulate me about it. So I feel like people are really paying attention a little bit more, you know. And the merch, man, I went from 55 shirts to like 7. So like I appreciate the love, man. It's really real out here. And I love everybody that's been a part of this journey, man, including you, bro. Like you have no idea. Like I love seeing you around. I love seeing that you're still doing your thing. Cause when I started out, man, like there was a lot of people trying to do something with themselves, and now it's like there's like a select few that are still maintaining themselves.
Are there any things you've picked up that you're like, man, I never knew people did this in the music industry?
That honestly, I thought it was more of a. I mean, in the beginning, I was like, man, I didn't realize people really had to pay to play. You know, you gotta put up a lot of money and have sponsors and have people who believe in you to put you in positions because that's the next step for us, you know, like I want to make sure I can get in front of a bigger crowd who can hopefully digest and soak up what I'm saying, you know, and then spread from there, you know. But you do have to kind of bite the bullet on that. And I've been in a situation where I thought I was going to be doing something big, paid some money, and then found out I was getting fucked with. So I had to get that money back. And then the situation that I had to get the money back in was really bad. And I don't ever want to have anybody ever in a bad situation. So I'm like, I don't want to ever like do that again unless I know there's like a contract behind it. There's like actual like something that I could trace it back to, because people will fuck you over big time, bro. It's like if you want to get in front of like a big artist and you know, go on those kind of ventures, then yeah, you're gonna have to pay some money.
So do you see it strictly as just negative, or you see that there's a positive,
No, I
there's a
mean,
pro to it?
if I feel like if you align yourself with the right artists and get yourself in front of the right crowd, you possibly could hit. You know, you have to know your music and where you think it can go. You know,
Yeah.
what ears it's gonna land on that are gonna be like, oh, I'm not really gonna get anything in return. You know, and at this point, if you're asking me, you obviously see some value in me. So, I mean, if you see it, why not act on that and give me what I'm worth? You know, especially because you've seen my shows, bro. I'm not lazy on that stage. You know, I'm gonna make sure that somebody walks out like, holy fuck, that little brown kid could fucking rap his ass off. You know, so um,
I told Stephanie that I was really impressed by you, like your work ethic. I was like, man, the first
thank you.
time I didn't know what I was doing, and I just invited a musician to be up there, and, to do his rap, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't have the system I needed. He was cool about it. He was just, I got the
Oh,
equipment. I
we
remember you needed
forgot
the toggle.
the aux. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. And I went acapella, and they still love that shit. Bro.
I told her,
Talk.
I was on
Yeah.
the second time I fucked up completely because we were missing the whole system. The power, I couldn't even power the system this time. We couldn't even do the aux. So he just did acapella, man, and he still killed it. So
Thank you.
it's like work ethic. Like
Mm.
you knew what you had. Like the beat is just a compliment.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm glad everybody got to hear me. I remember there's this one lady in the crowd. She just was just staring at me like bobbing her head, and I'm like, there's no music, there's no beat. She's still rocking with me. And I'm like, man, like it's the lyrics, bro. Like after that, I'm like, I don't ever gonna change up how I do my stuff, man. I want to make sure that there's quality in what I'm saying, you know.
There definitely is, and that's what really caught my ear to your music was that you were putting effort into the lines. You were rhyming something that wasn't like random just to put something that rhymed.
Mm.
Because I think in that situation, if you do someone like that who just had something repetitive and wasn't saying anything, acapella would just be like, what the fuck is going on
Just
here?
random gibberish
Yeah,
kind of at that
just
point.
gibberish. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when someone has words, then you're like following along. You don't need the beat anymore. The beat's just there in the rhythm of the music,
Exactly.
of the lines. Um, what what are you planning to grow? How do you? Well, let me rephrase that. When you were talking about knowing your worth and why people are even approaching you, did you have to wrap your mind around that, or was that something you just had to understand what's going on here?
Nah, I had shout out to H, my old manager. He would be like, these fools are hitting you up for a reason, bro. Like you need to make sure you're asking for something, because they're asking you for something. Like, okay, well, if you're if I'm gonna give you all this time and effort, you're gonna have to give me something in return. So he made me realize my worth in that way. Like, carry yourself with the knowledge of your value, like of your self worth. Like, make sure you know when you walk in the room and people are asking for you, like, know that they're willing, if they fuck with you enough, they're willing to pay you, or at least give you something to show you that they fuck with you, or like they respect you for what you do, you know. And I've always looked for that. Some people can't give me money. I don't, and that's in the beginning. I wasn't looking for any of that stuff. People just give me a shirt or just shout me out on their Instagram when they have more followers than me or whatever. I just took what I could get. But now it's like people are coming to me because they see the noise that I'm making, you know, and I've continued to make all this noise. So my like shout out to H, bro. He's just always like, man, know your worth, you know.
I think sometimes people don't know the power it has to just have the right people around you
Mm-hmm.
to tell you stuff and be
That
honest with you.
motivation.
Yeah. And not be bullshitting you.
He never does.
For me, I just have so much fun doing comedy, and I take it serious in that I want to be funny, and I want to get better at it.
Mm.
But I fuck with it so much, just like having fun.
Yeah.
That I haven't, I've kind of wrapped my head around that, but I haven't enforced it. Of hey, my time.
Oh, you said some shit about me, man. Everybody in the room looked at me. I was like, man, you crazy. I don't even know if you remember.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
Last time I saw you,
yeah.
I was like, man. So yeah, I could see why you would be like, nah, I'm not comfortable with trying to clean up my shit because that's not you.
It does. It sometimes does take like having to put your foot down. I was like, no, this is what I do for. Okay, if you don't want it, then I guess I'm not doing a show this week, or I'm gonna see what comes available somewhere else.
Yeah, I feel that. Like good luck on your show. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, my man H always told me like keep myself like inaccessible, you know? Like that way when I am on stage, there's more of a value, there's more of a presence there because they haven't seen me in so long, or you know, like build the anticipation and make sure you execute kind of thing.
I do one thing that I learned from Little G, who was a comedian who took me on the road with him, taught me the ropes. I learned some of his antics. I learned some of other people's antics and all the stuff that they do, which was fun. I learned a lot. But one thing I noticed by watching him, because you sit there and this guy's hooking you up, so you're just watching the show. So I noticed over time, I was like, you changed that joke up. And he goes, yeah. Sometimes I feel it this way. Sometimes I feel it. I was like, nah, fool. I was like, because he tells me the numbers, he'll tell me stuff, or I overhear it, and so I'll be like, nah, man, that fool at this one place, you did the same amount of time, and you did the same set, but he paid you this much, and you did the joke this way, and it was 3 bars, 4 bars, but when this other guy paid you this much, that shit became 6 bars. And he goes, you noticed that? I was like, yeah. I was like, there's a bronze package and there's a triple diamond package, isn't there? He goes, yep.
Wow.
And so then I started doing that with my comedy. It's like, you know what? I'm grateful, and I know I'm maybe even being overpaid in how people traditionally select who they select, right?
But you're only just gonna get a taste.
You're only gonna get a taste because like the way I see it right now is my 10 minutes, I look at it like either from 150 to 200. But if someone's gonna like, hey, I'll give you 100, I'll be like, hey man, it's in town, or you know what, I'm already going down there, I'm just gonna do this, or I'm gonna jump from this show to that show, so it's not too bad. But I'm not gonna sell myself short, so it's just like, okay, then people see me do comedy, and I do comedy different, and the way you can tell how much I'm getting paid is if I'm just sitting there telling jokes and everybody's laughing, then that's the bronze package. But if I'm up, I'm moving, I'm telling stories, I'm moving my arms and my legs, I'm interacting with the crowd, I'm more facial expressions, and taking my time with the joke, that's the triple diamond package.
I got you.
And so that's always my way of doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not taking anything away from the crowd, but rather letting them know that there's more to it.
Now that I think about it, I think I've seen that in action now, because you tell the joke about your family and how they handled the
funeral.
The funeral.
My death of my dad.
I seen you do a very long version of that joke, and then I seen you do another version where it was a little more simplified. So I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, is it an open mic? And then even at an open mic, I have the whole set, but I'm trying to refine the first part of it. So I'll refine that part and then shorten the other
chunk
part.
it.
Yeah.
I got you.
And that's something I learned from them, was that there are packages. Is that something you can do in rap? Because the lyrics are the lyrics. So how is it that let's say someone goes, hey man, do me a favor, bro, and it's like, I gave you 100, but you usually charge 300 or 500. Like, how do you compensate for that, or is it flat the same always?
Probably just less time.
One song or 2 songs.
Yeah. If I get like 100, I'll probably just give you like maybe like 7 to 10 minutes. That's maybe like 3 or 4 songs. But if you give me like 300-400, I might give you like,
might drop
20.
the album.
I might do like 25-30, like give and make sure like you see me sweating on that stage because I'm working my ass off, like There is, yeah. Like, yeah, you pay me little, you're gonna get little. You pay me big, you're gonna get the biggest.
What's do you remember your first gig?
Yeah, it was at Jerry's Pizza. It was through, I think, Vision Entertainment. Like before they were Vision, I think. No, no, it was somebody else. It was Johnny. I forgot the entertainment group, but was it Tommy? It was someone at Jerry's, and it was with Funk Norris, who I was with Slump Records in the beginning of my rap career. Um, they got me on my first show, and I remember I did maybe like 2 songs, but I was on stage and I didn't move. Like I was like frozen, but like I spit every word out, got everything out, but like I was like a statue. Like, and everyone was like, "Hey, you did good, but you need to move around a little bit more next time." And knowing that they said I didn't do bad lyrically, I was like, "All right, cool. There's just little things I got to work on." And thanks to Funk and Robles, they would help me out. We would go to Funk's garage, and then boom, out of nowhere, he'd be like, "Let's just rap."
Mm-hmm.
And they already had a PA system in the garage, so just turn on the right mics and then start going at it. And then we started rehearsing our songs and moving around a little bit more. They got me comfortable on stage, so. Um, but my first show, that was all nerves, bro. Like I didn't move a muscle, but I was just trying to rap as best I could. It was
As
crazy.
far as your movements that you were now using and or that you more incorporate into your music, either whether it be walking around or arm gestures or whatever
It's really looking at people.
at the crowd,
Yeah, it's more of
making eye contact, making it feel like
like
you
I'm rapping
recognizing them.
to you.
Yeah,
Like you're like we're in this moment together. Now it's more of that. Yeah,
that's what's up.
yeah. Because when I see that you're paying attention, I'm like I'm gonna give you a fucking show, for sure.
Did you ever look at another rapper as they were doing their show and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna move my arms like that, or anything like that?
I mean, growing up, I always looked at rappers and seeing how they perform and just point and just kind of like do these little things. So yeah, try to not really imitate that, but like when you feel the music, you just kind of like have this like little rhythm and like a little bounce to you. So when I feel it, I just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. There's always just little things that you don't even realize that you do, but you do them constantly because of the music.
So you talked about being nervous, being all stiff up there, and now being a little bit more movement, and then giving those people those shows. Do you? I don't know how to rap or how to say it, but like, do you ever feel cool?
When yeah, honestly, in between in the songs, when like I hear people or see people still listening, and or I'm like in between that, you have to really be an entertainer, man. You have to like crack a joke or like compliment somebody or just let them know like you see them. um it's always fun doing that stuff, like that part makes me feel pretty cool, and like the whole crowd laughs after I crack a cool little joke. I'm like, all right, now let's get into this next one. Like that's the part I'm like, all right, they're listening, like they're hanging on to my words, like, and that's when I feel pretty cool. Yeah.
Do you? How do you deal with ego?
um I put it in my lyrics. Yeah, I try to walk, um I guess, gracefully. I try to make sure I move in a way that everyone's like can accept, because I don't know. I want to make sure that I'm not a burden in people's lives. I don't want to come around and people be like, "Yo, I missed your energy," or I don't want to die one day and people be like, "God, I'm glad that fool's fucking gone." Like I try to make sure like people are gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Damn, that
You
makes
know,
me, that's cool.
so that's how I kind of move.
I think we all want to be remembered
Yeah,
some way
but
or another.
my ego is always in the lyrics. Like I'm just trying to like that's where I really feel alive. Where I'm like, I'm the shit on this mic and on my with my pen, But in life, I'm just like everybody else. I'm just trying to be cool.
How do you navigate the trajectory, like going from the guy who was nervous on stage to the guy selling out a theater to a household name? Like how what's your I guess how do you perceive how you're gonna navigate it?
um, Keeping people around me that are gonna knock me down, like, and not in a bad way, but more of like a, oh, you think you're the shit, huh? Like, don't forget that one time,
Remember when
like,
you pissed your pants in
yeah,
kindergarten, fool?
like, yeah, you gotta keep the fam around to make sure like they humble you, and you just can't lose sight on why you started doing this, like no matter what. and I started doing this because I love hip hop. You know, so that's never. I'm never gonna lose sight of that. I'll never like move out of step with that because it's got me this far. You know, a household name. You said you crazy.
It'd be dope, man.
One
Like
day.
I mean, everybody here in town knows you.
What's up?
Everybody who
Someone last
who
night, bro, downtown. It was crazy. I was like, "Oh, what's up, bro? What's your name?" I was, "I'm Chuck." He goes, "I know who you are, bro." And I was like, "Fuck, I love that shit." I can't ever get used to that shit, bro. I hear that shit all the time, but I can never get used to that, bro. Like, damn, y'all know me. Like, you know, like my work shows, you know, like it's proven itself. It's fucking crazy, man.
well, I think if one just because of the quality you put out, and then if you're someone who wants to listen to music live, then definitely you're coming across your stuff, you know. So I think that already is memorable. But how do you think that's going to go with the next level? Like, what are you, from your experience, what is it that you need to do so that you're a California or a West Coast name?
I gotta get out of Bakersfield a little bit more. And that's not even like I gotta move out. It's just more of like right now, bro. After this, I'm gonna go to Pismo and try to go connect with some people out there, you know, because I've already kind of accomplished what I needed to in the city. Because I always told myself before I make it big, because I know I'm gonna do something with this, man. Before I make it big, I'm gonna fucking make sure my city knows me at least, or they at least rock with me, or have seen me as some they've seen me in some way. I want to make sure they be like, oh, I know that kid. And then I want to branch out. So now it's like, all right, now let's make connections in LA, and I have connections in the coast, and I want to go to like San Diego and the Bay and like really like vibe out and see if they can fuck with me out there, you know. And from what I hear, man, I think I have a chance. So
Do you ever is that why you're doing the merch?
that's more for people who have always asked for it. Like since I've dropped my Good Villain tape like 5 years ago, man, people were like, "Where's the merch? When are you gonna drop something?" And then H made some shirts for us, and people were mad because we never actually put them out. We just made one for me, my girl at the time, and him, and that was it. And so everyone was like, "What the fuck? I want one." And I had someone so loyal to my craft and what I do, and they believe in me so much. Shout out to my friend Val. She fucking paid for a shirt. She gave me money, and she's like, "When you drop your merch, just give it to me." Like, and she gave me money that day, and like, she's like, "I don't know when you're gonna ever come out with it, but I want to get it.
It's my
Like, be the first."
deposit.
Yeah, and like, I was like, "Damn, like, you believe in me that much," and it's people like that, bro. Like, I can't give up. I can't ever give up because of that. Those conversations that I have with people, and I've had many, so it's not even for me anymore at this point, man. It's for like I want to be the drive for people and motivation for people. Like, oh, he's doing it, I could do it too, you know. And the merch was more for people who have always been rocking with me and who always kind of wanted something to hold and have. And it's crazy, man. People have been rocking the hell out of them, and I love it, man.
Um, do you see that too in the music? Like people just getting held back because they're just fucking high all the time or something. They're not making it to shit or something.
Yeah, I mean, I personally witnessed like that, and you know, you can only do so much for people, and help try to guide them or at least talk to them about like what they should do, but people are gonna live their lives, man. And what sucks is that addiction, man, is like no fucking joke. And like I don't know, man, we really gotta, you just gotta be there for people and really try to just be like, yo, like you're not alone, you can get through this. But people are afraid to work. People are afraid to work on themselves, you know, because they gotta face these things, and a lot of people don't want to face the shit that they got, and that's it's sad, you know.
Yeah, I'll drink at an open mic, but if I got a show, I don't, no alcohol.
Yeah.
It's rare if I have a drink.
I don't drink either. Like when my friends see me with the beer, they're like, "What? What the fuck? You drink?" I'm like, "It's
Oh,
and it's all." I always hear something every time because I'm usually smoking, you know. So I hardly ever drink, but that's because growing up I've seen what it does and I seen what it could lead to. So I'm like, I don't ever want to deal with that shit. But who's to say my vices won't fucking, you know, like get me one day? But you really got to make sure you just keep yourself solid, man, and don't fall into the darkness, man. Shit is easy to fucking be horrible and be a bad person. It's work to be good and work on yourself, you know? It's hard.
yeah, the journey is something else, man. I know for me that doing the comedy and being part of like certain organizations, I was just so out there and my image out there that I didn't want to tarnish it. So, I wasn't getting high, I wasn't drinking, but then I got so busy doing shit that I wasn't drinking and I wasn't high. And I was like, man, I'm fucking productive as fuck right now.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, and then you have a day off and you're with your friends and they're like, you want to drink? And I'm like, nah. And it's not like, oh, I don't drink. It's more just like,
I'm not feeling it right now.
I'm not feeling it. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying what I'm doing right now. I don't need it. I've already shown myself that I can get a lot done without having to feel this way. And so, and then you know what? I might not have shit to do today, but I got shit to do tomorrow.
It's responsibilities, man.
And that part of it is in itself a reward of growth.
Yeah. And I mean, shout out to you if you could fucking get wasted though and go and handle your shit the next day, kind of miserable about it, but hats off if that's the shit you do. But I feel you, bro. I'd rather be prepared and be like, nah, you know what? I do have something to do. And that was I was with my homies last night. And a couple of them were like, oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then another homie was like, well, we got shit to do in the morning. I don't know if we should all go out. And all of them were like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, I love to see that shit, bro. Like, y'all could have fucked over and just, did whatever you wanted and just forgot about it maybe or just overslept it, But nah, they were like, nah, we got shit to do. Let's get right. Let's make sure we get home and, get ready. That's good, man. I want to see more of that shit, bro. Like, prepare, stay ready. That's the next step I'm trying to go towards. Like, I want to test out the stuff that I'm like a little worried about, like putting out and performing. But yeah, I gotta do it though, because how am I gonna know? How am I gonna know what works or what doesn't, or what should I go this way even more, or should I stop and keep go back to the drawing board? You gotta push yourself. You have to like be afraid to fuck up and fail. And if you haven't, congrats, but that shit's gonna happen at some point, and you have to roll with that. And I'm a firm believer of you only really fail when you stop trying. Like when you give up, that's when you fail. So I feel bad for people who feel like they're like, this is the only way that works. Like, nah, like you gotta grow, man.
I booked this one chick, and she goes, hey man, I got this guy, really talented, man. Is it cool if I bring him with me? And I was like, yeah, man. You know what? Yeah, go ahead. Bring him with me and then I'll pay him. She goes, you'll pay him? I was like, yeah. And I guess she thought that she was just going to bring him along and they were going to split the gas or something. But I told her like, nah, I'm going to go ahead and book him separately and everything. I'll hit him up, give him his information. Fine. It's like, hey, such and such told me about you. You open to do the show? Yeah. I was like, all right. And then he showed up. I think, he showed up to the show and he had this long story about how he got a flat on the way over here, and he was on the spare tire, getting back and stuff. And I was just like, oh shit, man. What are you guys doing tonight? They're like, oh, we're gonna head back. I was like, how about you just crash at my place, fucking get some rest. In the morning, I'm gonna take you to my nephew's tire shop. I'll get you a tire. And they were like, for real? I was like, yeah. And I got there and and I talked to my nephew. I was like, hey man, he's one of the comedians and shit. Can you hook him up? Like, yeah. I'll give him the cost of the tire. I won't even charge him for the service or anything like that. Damn. It's like, cool. So he got a new tire. Motherfucker would not shut the fuck up about how I hooked him up with the tire.
He's gonna tell everybody that story, bro. He saved his life, bro. He went home and told his mom and everybody that he knew. Like that's the impact you gotta make on people's lives, bro. Because those people are gonna forever like feel like, oh man, I owe this motherfucker a favor, And it's not like because they feel like they owe you. It's because you didn't have to, and you showed that like kindness and love, like a lot of people won't fucking do that, man. A lot of people are shiesty.
I've heard, I was watching this thing about Tekashi 6ix9ine, and they were talking about, this guy was talking about, man, this is a use industry, man. You gotta be willing to be used and use other people. And I was like, that doesn't vibe with me, man. I understand that we all gotta make something, and we're all there for.
That sounds like a prostitute, though. Like, what the fuck?
And so to me, it's like, nah, I don't want nobody to feel used. Yeah. I obviously they gotta understand that I'm trying to make a buck and I can only pay him so much and shit. Those things are obviously like there, but I would never want someone to feel, like you said, feel used and have negative shit to say about me. Like, nah, man, fuck that fool. One of those things about being used, when I was doing comedy traveling with these OGs, they had this thing called back end, and I was like, what the fuck is a back end? And so what they would do, it sounded fucked up to me, man. It just did not seem right. So let's say like I book you for my show, And I'm like, hey Chuck, man, hook me up, bro. Like, can't really afford 400, 500. Like, can we do 200 or something? And it's like, it's my first show. I'm just putting it on, trying to build the venue and all that stuff. It's like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. And so they agreed to it. And then the venue kind of pops off and it's going off and stuff is doing well.
And they ask for more money.
They not to perform again.
Mm-hmm.
They would just be like, hey man, I'm coming through town, man. You think you show me 200 for that favor I did you? And it's just like, what? Yeah, it's called the back end. I was like, nah, man. Like, you agreed to something, you settled on it, and you move on.
And you already did it. So what the fuck do I owe you for?
Nah, these guys would hit up people and be like, nah, you owe me money for that show I did. I was like, I paid you. It's like, yeah, but I only did it for this much, and I charged this much, so you stole me the difference.
Nah, that's not what we agreed on.
I was like, man,
that's why you gotta.
There's so much out there,
you gotta
man.
contract shit out, bro. I mean, it might be painstaking and like a little time consuming, but you gotta cover your ass, bro. Like, fuck all that shit, bro. That shit pissed me off. That shit would make me not want to work with people ever again. Nah. And I've had people like had to owe me money before, and even then, bro, I hate asking for shit. You know, when you know on your mind, you owe somebody. You know.
I just take it as like, if you're not gonna pay me, it's not worth the hassle. I'm not gonna get all pumped up and square off with you about something like that. The consequences of something going wrong is way worse than the $200-300 you owe me.
You're right.
So like, how about this? I don't know you shit. You know, I don't owe you no fucking favors.
Nothing.
You come at me with I owe you something, or can you help me out? And it's like, I've been there, done that. You know the results, so I'm gonna go ahead and just not do it.
Yeah.
And be cordial about it.
Yeah.
You know, I have comedians that we've had beef, and I'm cordial as fuck. I'll shake your hand before you know. It's like whatever. Yeah. And I don't do it to be mean. It's just like, man, we got other people around here. They don't need to be in our business.
Yeah, I don't act out of character just because you're gonna be a dumbass. You know, that's hilarious. I feel you though. You gotta be cordial, man, no matter what. Especially if people know you as that person who's just, if that's who you are, you're chilling. Just be chilling. I ain't trying to get all hype.
So, we're all rooting for you, to make it to the level that you want to make it to, and be where you want to be at, be comfortable in your life and for your family.
Thank you.
But do you have a price? Like you're saying, like I don't do that. I'm not gonna be like the industry, this or that. Do you have like boundaries?
Of course.
Like I'm not gonna be the grill guy. I'm not gonna be the.
Yeah, like I know who I am. I'm very comfortable with who I am, so I don't have to wear my value. Like when I walk in a room, people are like, like, damn, cool, he's here. I like that feeling. I don't want people like, oh, this motherfucker got the flashes. Nah, it's just, oh, Chuck's here. I know it's gonna be cool now. Like, we're chilling now. Like, that's all I want to accomplish. I just want people to be comfortable and feel safe around me, So I don't give a fuck about none of the other shit, bro. For real. I'm trying to leave an impact. That's it. In my way, Not that's because I had the biggest chain or because I had, whatever the fuck going on, It's because I'm true to myself and I do dope shit. That's it.
How's it with family with what you do? Are they all like are they making their own shirts and stuff, or are they how does the family support?
I have some that are mad that they got sold out before they got they reached out to me, but everybody, I'm blessed, man. Like all my aunts, uncles, cousins, my mom, my father, like everybody that has seen me do this, they're like, yeah. Like, you were meant for this. Like, we knew you were going to do this, Like, I have cousins in Shafter. I used to go to their house and be over there for, like, weeks. And, like, this was, like, the time where, like, YouTube was coming out. And, like, everybody was downloading shit off of, like, LimeWire and MP3 Rocket and all that shit. And I was, like, one of those people. And I'd just be listening, like, Bone Thugs and Harmony and Tupac and, like, just learning all these verses and stuff. And they saw at a young age that I was so, like, trying to rap and do all this stuff. So... like, they would bring those things up to me, like, remember when you do this? Remember when you do that? They're like, we knew you were going to, do something with this. So it's cool to hear those things and just to have the support that I have, man. My support system is really strong. No matter what I do, man, like, people are like, I can't wait for the next one, And that's the best part. And you've been up on that journey too, bro. So I really appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I remember I'll shoot the question to you too. Is like someone you've always wanted to perform with, and for me, I had, I was in a situation here in Bakersfield where I couldn't grow. People were hating on me. I was telling, I think Stephanie, I told her I was telling another person where like there was comedians who didn't like that I was doing my own venues, doing my own thing, booking my own people, and so they would go to the radio. I started doing the radio. Danny Morrison, I reached out to him, and it wasn't like I just came on the radio. I reached out to him. He ignored me, or didn't get to my email, whatever, and then reached out again, and then got a response.
You were persistent.
Yeah, I got a response. Shot me a couple questions. He gave me his number, gave me a call, called him, met up with him. We talked. I think we met up a second time, and then he's like, "I want you to come on the radio. I'll give you 2-3 minutes. Clean, blah blah blah. We'll go forward." I was like, "Okay." And this time I know what clean means. And so I did my thing.
Yeah.
I did it again, and then I was like, "Hey, Danny, like I'm all about doing this for the growth. I see that if I help the community grow, it will only help me grow. So I'm not gonna be greedy with this time that you're giving me. So can I reach out to other comedians?" And I reached out to the comedians, man. They fucking blundered it, and I was just like, "What the fuck, bro?"
You'd be surprised, man. Just showing a little love, what that does for people. Like you could have been doing anything in the fucking world, but you're here supporting me. That's what I like doing, to going to shows, showing people like, hey, like I fuck with you, and the love back in return, man. I know you feel it back.
I know you say you got to get down to Pismo, so can you maybe give some shout outs, some last comments, and would you do a verse?
Yeah, I could spit something. Shout out to H, man. Shout out to Charcoal Avalon. Shout out to everybody that's doing everything in the city, man. Shout out to you, bro. Honestly, man, you've been fucking with me since I was literally starting out, man. And it means a lot. So, shout out to you. I got this verse. It's called Hall of Fame. It goes, always busy, rarely stay reclined, looking like my father in '89. In the same Hall of Fame with all the honored names is where I'll remain in time, young and with an older state of mind. Baby, I'm just trying to take my time while I create my rhymes and take what's mine. Can't keep up, go ahead and stay behind. They creep up, I thought they'd hate the guy. They fake the vibe, they're quick to hang and stay beside, but it'll take a lot to change my mind. I should stay inside like I hate the light. I just praying right till we're taking flights. Then I hit the stage at night and bring the light, but don't bang my line, cause that'll change your life. And they call me the ruler so you can criticize. Man, shit is tight. Always on my bullshit like I'm constantly with the guys. Still I'm smooth with it like I'm about to go split the thighs. I slip inside twice. Shooting for the stars till I rip the skies and lift the tides. I empathize and hypnotize. I with my mics. I improvise with tear-filled eyes and hear the cries. I'm here though, guys. Let's chill alright and get back to the real shit. Matter of fact, it's an illness. It's like a pack of the gas. How fast I could deal this. Play it back if you feel this. I attract all the realness. In 10 years they say, damn, that shit still hits. I'm not from the shy Bakersfield High, but I drill shit. Kicking back with a real chick. Hey.
That's dope.
You. Much love.
I heard that today.
Much love. Yeah.
I was listening to it, I think, when you walked in.
Much love,
That's
bro.
dope. That's
Thank
dope. Yeah, man, appreciate you coming through. Mad love. Hope, like I said, man, we're all rooting for you, man.
Thank you, brother.
All right, thank you, man.
Appreciate you.